What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, taking a look at 3 of the newly buffed Pokemon for Season 21 of the Go Battle League Dual Destiny. First up, we have Shadow Alolan Sandshrew. It got a nice buff to its Ice Punch, and it also got Bulldoze as a change, though I think you're going to want Drill Run overall. Bulldoze, not the greatest move. It's 45 energy for 45 damage. It's a non-stab move, so that doesn't really help its case, though. Drill Run, of course, also non-stab. And it has a 50% chance of dropping your opponent's defense. So that part is nice, the 50% chance of dropping your opponent's attack, but only doing 1 damage per energy that you're putting into it, not necessarily making it the greatest move. As my closer, I have Chestnut, which did get a nice Thunder Punch buff. Thunder Punch now doing more damage. And we have Shadow ZAPDOS as my safe swap. Thundershock now does 1 more damage per Thundershock, which is just really nice. You're able to actually farm things down now with Thundershocks, and you're going to see that in today's video. So let's go ahead and get it going. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so that you do see more of my videos as they come out. Alright, into the first battle. Up against a Gligar lead. They are, of course, running Wing Attack. Gliscor got the buff this season with Sand Attack, but Gligar still stuck with Wing Attack or Fury Cutter. They're going to be firing off the Night Slash immediately. Since they didn't build up to the dig, I do not have to respect it, and now I can fire off my Ice Punch. Ice Punch would, of course, one-shot here, so they do throw up the shield. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw immediately on this next Ice Punch. If they wanted to CMP me, that's fine. Sandshrew should win that CMP. Now, they're over-farming quite a bit. If this is Night Slash, I would survive it, but they did build up enough energy for dig, so I am going to respect it, and it's going to be the Night Slash. So now I'm going to go ahead and just throw on CMP. Going to be able to connect with this third Ice Punch and take out their Gligar. They're going to come in with a Gengar running Sucker Punch, I believe. So really cool to see. And then they're going to swap out into Clodsire. Now, this Clodsire is running Mudshot, which makes it a very good matchup for my Chestnut. Chestnut going to be firing off these Frenzy Plants, which hit quite hard. And unless they have Sludge Bomb, they can't hit my Chestnut back. So I'm basically just resisting everything here. They do go for the harder hitting Earthquake, but it's just not going to save them. I'm going to be able to fire off this next Frenzy Plant to take them out. All they have left is a Gengar, which has already taken some nice chip damage. And we're going to even make it to this Thunder Punch. I don't know if Thunder Punch would have KO'd in previous seasons, but with the buff, it just about does. It just about does. It takes just 1 more Vine Whip. So Thunder Punch buff coming in nice there. We were in a good spot regardless, though. Into the next one. Another newly buffed Pokemon Dedenne on the screen. They're going to be swapping out into a Seaking. Now, I saw the water typing and I immediately go into Chestnut. However, Seaking pretty good against my Chestnut since they do have both Poison Jab and Icy Wind. I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Thunder Punch as I get it. I was hoping to win CMP, but Chestnut does not win that CMP. Still, I should be able to outpace thanks to Thunder Punch. This is a moment Thunder Punch is definitely nice, and Superpower would not be as good since Superpower would drop my defense, and I'd basically be forced to go for the more expensive Frenzy Plant. We're going to go ahead and just eat the second Icy Wind, because I know I can come in with Sand Slash and farm up a lot of energy, and hopefully even catch a Drill Run on my Zapdos. So I do go for the catch. So they throw 1 more Poison Jab. I'm thinking if this is Icy Wind, it's probably just GG's, but it is going to be the resisted Drill Run. Resisted, right? Drill Run. It does a lot of damage, but we do get the Thundershock down. Out comes the Dedenne, and now I am going to be looking for the back-to-back Drill Pecks. With the added Thundershock damage, I think that we're going to be able to actually take this out. And actually, I do go ahead and stretch for the Thunderbolt just to ensure that I pick up the KO. I recognize that I probably wasn't going to make another Drill Peck against whatever their third Pokemon is. So might as well go the safe play and go for the Thunderbolt. Going to go for the Bulldoze here. You can see really not the greatest move. That's shadow on shadow action. And it did like half, right? And super effective at that, right? So we do still make it to the second one, and since we got the defense drop, probably could have settled for the Ice Punch. I was confident I was going to make that second Bulldoze, so we go for it, and that's GG's. Into the next one, Trevenant lead, great lead. They side swap into Malamar, and I make a really crucial misplay right here. They didn't build up to the foul play. I thought they did. Watching it back, they did not. So I was trying to call a foul play bait right there, and of course, it's going to be the Superpower. Now I'm going to come in with my Chestnut. Why? It has basically no play into that Trevenant. And what I want to do is throw this Thunder Punch to get them low but not take them out, let them dump energy, and then get the Thundershock down with ZAPDOS. At this point, I'm basically looking for ZAPDOS to be able to sweep this team. So I am able to get this Thundershock down. They come back in with the Trevenant. Now, these Shadow Claws are shredding my ZAPDOS, but since I got that energy lead, and I only took already debuffed Psywaves from Malamar, I might be able to make it to 3 Dropex here. I'm going to be, of course, shielding up whatever they throw here. Even if it's Seed Bomb, it would be enough to take out ZAPDOS from this range. And they're going to be swapping out into Registeel. Now, this is a little bit awkward. I do have to play this smart. I am going to go immediately for this Thunderbolt. And then I'm going to build up to back-to-back Dropex before I swap out, right? I need to make sure that I have a ton of energy to handle that Trevenant in game, but I need my Chestnut to actually handle this Registeel. So Chestnut coming in, we're going to be able to make it to this Thunder Punch. I'm hoping that this is enough to KO. Again, Thunder Punch really nice here. And I don't think that in previous seasons that Thunder Punch would have KO'd. But we don't have to drop our defense, meaning we can take these Shadow Claws a little bit better. Now, the problem here is they're going to be able to Shadow Claw me down. I might make a Frenzy Plant plus a Thunder Punch, and you're going to see, actually, I wasn't going to. So I was just very fortunate right there that they threw up their shield. Now I'm going to be able to come in with my ZAPDOS, throw this Dropex, take out the Trevenant, and that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. So I got a little bit lucky. They did make a misplay there, but we're able to take the win. Into the next game, we see a Core Breaker lead with the Marowak. Both Chestnut and Sandslash very weak to fire. And they're going to swap out into a Buzzwole. Haven't seen one of these in a while, but this is really good for my ZAPDOS. We are resisting the counters here and able to fire off double super effective Dropex. So I'm going to just throw them as I get them, hoping to keep some HP on my ZAPDOS to help handle that Alolan Marowak late game, but they're actually going to come in with their Medicham now. So we are able to pull their second shield, which is really nice. And I'm just hoping up 2 shields, maybe I can make something happen. I really don't know what I'm looking for at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and come in with Chestnut, get that energy lead. They swap back into their Marowak, and then I realize they are not running Fire Spin. They are running Hex. So all of a sudden, this is a good matchup for my Alolan Sandslash. Going to be firing off the Bulldoze. We saw how much this did before. It's pretty pitiful, to be honest, for super effective damage, but we do get the defense drop, which allows us to farm down without them making another move. They come back in with their Medicham. I'm going to be able to fire off this next Bulldoze, just really kind of playing to see what are the real odds here. It was reported 50%, and after playing this for a few sets, I'd say that's probably pretty accurate. I think I got pretty lucky. My first 3 or 4 Bulldozes were all, or did all get the defense drops. But after that, it did kind of start to balance out. Anyways, I'm coming back in with my Chestnut, throw this Thunder Punch. It'll be enough to take out the Medicham, and that's a GG's. Well played. Into the next one, a Dream Lead Tropius. It doesn't matter if it's running Razor Leaf or Air Slash, it's really good for us. They swap out into Miltank. Now I immediately come in with Chestnut thinking, oh, it's a rollout user, it's a normal type, we're going to be chilling here. But Miltank, of course, has Ice Beam. Ice Beam, one of the 2 nukes that it can run. It can run Thunderbolt or Ice Beam, and they are running Ice Beam. So they do connect with it. It's not going to one-shot, but it does put us into Body Slam range. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off this Thunder Punch immediately after throwing the Frenzy Plant. And they do decide to let their Miltank go down. So now I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm able to keep alignment. Worst case scenario, we end up with ZAPDOS on this Tropius, which we'd resist everything, and we'd still have super effective Dropex. But Sandslash is the better matchup. They throw up a shield on the Ice Punch. I consider shielding for just a split second here since Leaf Blade is a pretty good move. They actually go Aerial Ace. So, you know, rank 1 battles. Then they come out with another normal type running rollout, and it's going to be Dunsparce. And this is pretty bad for me now. ZAPDOS doesn't really want to see this Dunsparce, and we are running Shadow Claw on Sandslash. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to ask me why Shadow Claw, and there's not really a good reason. Like Ice, what is it, Powder Snow? I think it's just strictly better in this meta. I guess I just wanted to see all the ice damage come from Ice Punch so I could really get a feel of where Ice Punch is. But I think you're going to want Powder Snow 99% of the time. It's like only better for Shadow Claw is really only better for like what, the Azu matchup. Regardless, we get this very low. We're going to be able to Thundershock down thanks to the Thundershock buff. And they are going to be swapping out now into their Tropius. Geopack, of course, no joke on that damage. We're going to get the Thundershock down. Again, Thundershock buff just coming in clutch right there. And that's going to be GG's. Well played. All right, into the next one. Malamar lead. So of course we do resist these Psy Waves, however superpower hits for double super effective. So even if they debuff themselves with the first superpower, the second one will still be threatening. We're going to fire off the Ice Punch here. It does pull the shield and they are building up to the back-to-backs right here. So I am going to go ahead and respect. I already got one shot once, right? I don't want to get one shot again. And they're just going to fire these off back-to-back, which makes a lot of sense. So that doesn't mean I have to go down 2 shields. And I don't love having Shadow ZAPDOS without a shield. But I also don't want to just fully sack my Sand Slash. They're going to be coming out with the Dunsparce. I'm going to bank up some extra energy on Sand Slash and come in with my Chestnut to completely wall this thing. It completely walls the rollouts, the Drill Run, the Rock Slide. We're in a great spot right here. Even though we don't have superpower, it just doesn't really matter. We're going to be able to connect with that Frenzy Plant. It does a ton of neutral damage. Drill Run coming through now. And I am going to... yeah, I go for the CMP here, thinking Chestnut's going to win, which we do win. And Thunder Punch does taking them out. So that maximizes my energy on Chestnut. And then they're going to come out with a Tentacruel. I'm a little bit slow on my swap here, but I should be able to outpace to this Drill Peck before they make it to their Scald. And they throw at 7, which can only be the Acid Spray. I'm expecting the swap, so I don't throw immediately. They do come in with the Malamar. At this point, I want to throw anyways. We're getting pretty low on HP. First Drill Peck does pick up the shield, but ZAPDOS able to actually withstand these Psy Waves and make a second Drill Peck, which is huge. We take out the Malamar, in comes the Tentacruel, and we have a ton of energy banked up here. So first Bulldoze, super effective damage, big damage, right? Yeah, yeah. You don't want Bulldoze. I'm just going to say it right now. Maybe there's going to be some Pokemon down the line that you do want Bulldoze on. Bulldoze feels as bad as it ever was. The only good thing is it has that defense drop. So maybe Zygarde. Maybe Zygarde could still get away with it since you're going to be dropping your opponent's defense and getting those Dragon Tails just to add up more and more. You could replace Crunch with it and run Outrage. Potentially Zygarde. But I think that's the only Pokemon that might benefit. Alright, in this next one, I make a misplay here. They come in with Primeape and I go in Chestnut. I don't know why. But we do go ahead and tank the first Rage Fist, grab a shield with the Thunder Punch. And now I'm going to go for this next Thunder Punch, hoping that they think that they have to throw their next Rage Fist to take me out. Because if they Karate Chop me down, I'm in a pretty bad spot. They have back-to-back Rage Fist ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with my Zapdos, catch on my Sand Slash, Rage Fist coming through. And they do throw their second Rage Fist. Now they still have 2 Karate Chops of energy. They're only like, what, 2 away? So they're still going to outpace to another Rage Fist. They're 4 times buffed right now. 4 times buffed. Luckily, Karate Chop, not the most oppressive move. So I am going to be looking for the Thundershock down here. We do get the Thundershock down. And now I'm just hoping that somehow Zapdos can just sweep with all this energy. We're going to be farming up, going for the Thunderbolt, and it does one-shot the Amoga after the Thundershock damage. In the back, going to be a Dunsparce, and I am just praying that I can make double Drill Peck and that it will KO this Dunsparce. First Drill Peck comes through. Second one, they are in the yellow. Is this enough to take them out? And no, it's not. We need like 1 or 2 more Thundershocks and we would have actually been able to grab that sweep with Zapdos. So Zapdos is definitely impressing me in a lot of these battles. If I would have just made the correct swap, we would have just RPS'd our opponent, but you know, we made a little bit of a mistake. So I think that was the only game that I actually lost with this team. I played 2 sets with it. So it didn't end up working, but again, rank 1, rank 2 battles, like what do you expect? All right. So opponent swaps out into Sand Slash. I'm going to go ahead and stay in and try to pull his shield. Or they swap out into Sableye. I try to pull his shield with my Sand Slash with Ice Punch, knowing that I can come in with Chestnut and wall the energy here. Now, I make a little bit of a weird play here, right? You probably think this is a misplay. But I don't want to give them a big farm down on my Chestnut, and I was confident I would survive the foul play. So I go ahead and play to the CMP, knowing that either they have to go down 2 shields to win switch, in which case Zapdos up 2 shields, come on, it's unstoppable. Or, you know, they don't shield, but they get 1 Vine Whip there. So they don't get a ton of energy on their superior. I come back in with my Sand Slash. I'm going to be firing off this Ice Punch since they are staying in. This is super effective. It does not one-shot superior, nice and bulky, but it does almost put them into the red. Now, I do decide to go ahead and eat this Frenzy Plant. I want that shield advantage for my ZAPDOS, and in the back, it's going to be another Dunsparce. I'm like, oh man, did I make a mistake here? Should I have shielded up my Sand Slash? I don't think so. They go for Drone. That has to be a BM, right? That has to be a BM. Anyways, we're going to be able to... we already saw that 2 Dropeks basically will KO a Dunsparce. And we've got more Thundershock damage in this time. So, second Dropek coming through. They do have to throw up the shield right there. Perhaps I could have just gone for 1 Thunderbolt. But I wasn't confident in that. I was confident that this would give me the win. So now I'm just watching for the catch. They do come in with their superior. I'm going to try to outpace with my Sand Slash. However, they do outpace me since they can just go for the Aerial Ace here. But that's perfectly fine. We come in with Zapdos. We're resisting these Vine Whips. Build up to the back-to-back Dropeks and win the game. First one, going to be taking out the superior. Second one, going to be taking out the Dunsparce. So got a little bit of revenge on the Dunsparce here, which felt really good. And that's going to be GG's well played to my opponent. So of these 3, I think they're all actually viable in the Great League right now. It's always hard to tell. Rank 1, right? Rank 1. Shadow Zapdos really impressed me. The added Thundershock damage made it so that the moves actually KO. So I was really impressed. I think that was the biggest buff of these 3. Previously, I'd only ran Chestnut with Super... well, I tried Thunder Punch, but I'd always swapped it back to Superpower. But I think Thunder Punch is a viable option now on Chestnut since it does hit a little bit harder. It's a good bait move now, where previously it was just kind of it was a mediocre bait move. And it helps against the Flyers, which we didn't see a ton of them on our Chestnut in this video, but it definitely is a good coverage move to help against the Flyers. Finally, Ice Punch on Sand Slash is a big buff, but you definitely want Drone. So Sand Slash, I feel like it plays basically the same as previous seasons. The other 2 are a little bit different. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. It really does help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate the support. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to my channel members for your added support. And until next time, this is ChillisFM, reminding you to always keep pushing forward.